What's up, everybody? It's Dolly's Corner, and I'm sorry I've been gone for the entire month. That's completely on me. I just got so sidetracked with school, all this other shit. I really just haven't been able to make any videos, but here I am, and once again, not a scripted one. I'm not reading anything. I'm just also, look, I got new glasses, and these ones aren't fucked up like my old ones. I've never shown you the old ones, so I'm wearing my glasses today. Candid little picture. But I just wanted to talk about kind of what's been going on in my world. I don't mean personal life. I just mean more nationwide. I think I've mentioned this. I am Canadian. And recently, our friends down below, the United States, have been making a few threats our way. They're your orange guy. I don't know if it's your orange guy, but the orange guy. He's been talking a lot about Greenland and 51st state, Canada, Governor Carney. Everyone hates a Trump accent, but you have to get one off at least once. So there's my version. But I see, oh my god. And the day I'm recording this, it's January 30th. It's about to be the end of the month. It's about to be the start of February. And these past few weeks, there's been some meetings with the World Economic Forum at Davos and whatnot. And Donald Trump and Mark Carney were both there. Mark Carney's speech was pretty good. I might put some clips in that I think are pertinent and that I think matter a lot, that I think are very, I don't want to say motivational. It's not motivational, but shit that really, stood out and stood strong to me. And then maybe I'll put in some Trump ones, but all of his are shit. And I don't want to get like fucking mega responses in my comments talking about some Donald Trump is a better president than you ever will be. I know, I'll never be president. So, he's already met that bar there.
We know the old order is not coming back. We shouldn't mourn it. Nostalgia is not a strategy.
We live in an incredible, changing period. It's an unbelievable time, but we have to take advantage of the time that we're in. In our hands are technologies that our ancestors could scarcely have. They couldn't have even dreamt some of the things that we see today.
This is the task of the middle powers. The countries that have the most to lose from a world of fortresses and a most to gain from genuine cooperation.
And we're leading by so much. We're doing so well. But opportunities that are bigger and grander than ever before in human history are right before us. It is the pioneers in this room. Many of you in this room are true pioneers. You're truly brilliant people.
And growing up, when I was a kid, any shows I would watch, whether cartoons, live action, they would always be a mix of Canadian shows and American shows. We've always had somewhat of an intermingled pop culture, even with movies, right? And like a lot of American movies are recorded around Canada. A lot of Canadian business goes into the United States. We know this. We've always had a close relationship. At least when I was growing up, there's always been a close relationship. Now it's pretty shit. I have never felt this way towards my neighbors down south, the Americans. It's never been your government is gonna potentially fuck us. Your government is actively trying to fuck us. It's always been, yeah, you guys are getting fucked, and I'm also getting fucked, but separately. We're having separate fucks. But now it's just one big, I don't know. Not only is it a threat to our sovereignty, it's also a threat to our dignity. I don't think Donald Trump is taking into consideration how do the Canadians feel about this? How is the average Canadian reaction to my threats? He doesn't care. He doesn't care about what his own Americans think. So why would he care about what the fucking neighbors up north think? And it's very rude, very hurtful. He's a pedophile. He's actively hurting people. He's always been hurting people. I'm not a Donald Trump fan by no fucking means. Fuck that guy. Release the Epstein files. He should be focusing on his shit instead of talking about Canada's gonna become mine. Like, fuck you. It's just such a slap in the face. So many years, so many decades of growing together, mutual cooperation, not wanting to fuck over Americans, wanting to appease them, wanting to, benefit them. When all the wars in the Middle East happened, Canada was always there. We've lost soldiers, and, Canadian soldiers have died for American imperialism and American causes and America's greed. And, back then, maybe there was a different view on it, but now, in hindsight, with retrospect, you can see two of the same words. You can really see what it led us to getting. We didn't get anything from it. We got fucked over. And that really just hurts. Like the loss of life that could have been avoided if it wasn't for what America was doing then. And back then being like, it's worth it. You know, you would do anything for your brothers, your sisters, your family. And now finding out, well, they're trying to betray us. It really just stinks. And I know American citizens don't have anything to, you know, they don't, it's not their fault. Well, they voted him in, but half of them after that, it's not their fault. But, you know, you hear these apologies and I'm sorry. Stop it. Why are you guys trying to sound like us? That's our shtick, you know? But really, an apology can't do anything now. In the state of America, like, state, in the country, the state that America is in right now is probably the most unrest I've seen in a very long time. I'm only 21. I haven't seen a lot. But, you know, there's been a few unrests, and I think it's just peaking and peaking and peaking. I wouldn't say it's different from 2020 when George Floyd was murdered. I think those protests came at a very different time. Those are very different, you know, they were operated differently. It wasn't in direct retaliation to the federal government. It was to police as a system. I view that as different from what's going on with ICE, and especially in Minnesota with the deaths of Alex Petty and Renee Good, you know, two people who were executed by ICE for doing nothing, for being Americans. And now Americans really should be standing up, and I can't, you know, say what specific actions they should be doing, but I don't think it's what they're currently doing. You know, these little guys, we have to tweet about this. Twitter will, maybe he'll see the tweets and stop. It's not going to work. I think the American government is not going to listen to reason. Maybe they'll listen to economic force, economic threats, or I don't know, anything else. But this super pacifist method that has become American protesting doesn't work this time. And as a Canadian, you know, maybe I can get told, what the fuck do you know? Again, neighbors, we see a lot of the shit that goes down south. I can make an educated opinion. I can say these things, maybe. I'm going to say them anyways, because that's what Americans do. Just say whatever the fuck they want. So I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want. It's concerning seeing what's going on. I think obviously Trump is, you know, going his little fashy route. He's not trying to be a good president. He's trying to be a good dictator. He's praised dictators. There's no more adults in Trump 2.0. People say this all the time. It's filled with loyalists. I think Hassan Abi was probably one of the first people to say this. I think I was watching his stream during the inauguration. He was saying a lot of this shit, you know, how it was going to go down, what it was going to be like. And for the most part, he's been pretty spot on for a political commentator. Obviously, you know, he's not going to fucking run for Congress and change anything. He's not made for that. He's made for whatever he's made. Twitch streaming, you know, journalism. Not Twitch. They banned him yesterday. Nah, fuck you, Twitch. But, you know, he's a journalist. He's a streamer. He's youth outreach for left-leaning causes. He's not a politician. He can't fix anything. I don't know why I'm going on this little side tangent, because people just very hateful towards that guy because he outreaches to the youth. And they're like, oh, he does this, he does that. But, you know, Andrew Tate fucking beats women, rapes women, traffics women. Clavicular does meth. And these guys are still male role models to someone. No one's calling them out to the same degree that they're calling out Hassan Abi, because he's more leftist. And I think I'm going to go back to America just for a second, like directly the government. You know, obviously super left-leaning voices are getting censored. They're getting stopped. Hassan got, you know, banned on Twitch for a week for saying some shit that got conflated for whatever. And Don Lemon got arrested. He's not even left. He's a liberal, dog. And he got arrested for being a journalist. It's going to get worse and worse. And, you know, when you go day by day, you don't realize this. But when you look at it from the start and then you look at it from now, very different. Dictatorships are a gradient. It happens over time. It doesn't go from day to night. One day you'll be in one and you won't realize when you've been in a dictatorship. It's some very scary shit. So don't invade Canada. Like, that's That's my number one, my concern, because I love my country and I see so many fucking Americans talk so much shit, saying Canada needs to be liberated, Mark Carney is a puppet, blah 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 blah. Dude, we're doing fine. Our biggest problem is probably Alberta just being like a fucking teenager. I want to leave. I don't care about you anymore. That's like, I don't know, like 10% of the population at most. So we'll be fine. We're getting our deals. Mark Carney, I can't say that I love him. I can't say I'm some super fucking liberal. I've always been leaning more to the left than them, probably further than the NDP, which is the New Democratic Party in Canada. They're the most left-leaning party that we have. And they hit rock bottom this last election. So, with that new leadership thing, I'm really hoping that they're able to get a strong leader who's able to boost the message of the NDP, getting back to the working class, getting back to the unions, getting back to what the NDP's always really been about. They deserve a leader who's able to do that. I don't want to get too into Canadian, like older Canadian politics. I want to talk about right now because that's all I can think about. I think it's a very weird time to be next to America when they're going through this whole crisis, when they're going through a lot of these issues with their government. The fact that he's trying to be a dictator. So all I can really do is hope for the best. One thing I can say about Carney is that the China deal was pretty good. The, EVs, just for some tariffs lower, some other things, pretty good deal. However, his meetings in Qatar were a little, iffy because you do look at the human rights record and at some point you have to consider, is he weighing deals and money more than human rights abroad? Because we should still take a stand, for human rights violations. I think especially as America kind of keeps declining, more so going fucking crazy, people are looking at Canada like, hey, what the fuck is going on with him? And we're like, shit, I don't know, but you can come and hang with us. So, and one last thing, I have to say this as someone from Canada. Where's Kendrick Lamar? A lot of crazy shit going on in America. Where's K-Dot at? I thought K-Dot was the voice of the people. I thought he was Mr. Lyrical, bro. Where's Kendrick? I feel like if Canada was going through some shit like this, my dog Drake would probably be like, yo, y'all gotta chill out, bro. Real Sixers, don't get violent. But no Kendrick, which is so weird. He hasn't ever spoken about what's been going on in Gaza either. And he's, silent for this too. So CIA Lamar, you tell me. That's about all for this video. Hopefully I'll see you guys again very soon. I think the biggest problem with me getting videos out is if I don't just really, really, really want to talk about something, it's harder for me to make it. Otherwise, I feel like I have to write a script out. And I don't know. I feel like when I'm reading from a script, it takes away from how personal it is. Because with the script, I can edit it. I can review it. I can have people take views at it. And I think sometimes it can get rid of my main message. But if my shit's a little too incoherent, please let me know. And, maybe we'll see what other types of videos I can make. I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I have a video idea, I'd like do it all in the shower. Like I just talk. And I get out and I'm like, what the fuck do I want to talk about? So I feel like maybe I should start recording myself in the shower and then just getting those ideas back. But it's a whole separate issue. Anyways, see you guys later.